What's up, squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen as I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. You got Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton responds to potential litigation against him in the Nolan Wells case. And many of y'all know it's like Al Sharpton them. They just don't stop. It's honestly like they don't stop. They got to keep stuff going. Got to keep on spreading lies and keep talking. Definitely sad. Al Sharpton put, and responded, I welcome the lawsuit and will have my attorneys be in touch with theirs to arrange them to serve me so we can go to court. He also says, I know y'all, I've seen, they had went on a Zoom for Nolan's birthday. Not only a Zoom, they had, an event for Nolan as well. Then you have, Al Sharpton basically denying everything. Basically denying things of what he said. Said, while I did know their names, so I did not defame them, we have a right and a duty to raise questions that were raised by me and Nolan's parents. He, in fact, does know their names. There's a lot of people that truly knows their names of what had happened and all. But then again, it's the lies. Truly the lies. That's what's sickening. You got it right here. It says Al Sharpton said Nolan Wells was with 3 friends on a boat. So again, Al Sharpton is one that has said 3 friends on a boat. Trust and believe, like explained here, there were multiple people on different boats. Way more than 3. It's just because that picture got out, they want to point the finger, of course, and it's definitely sickening. I'll tell you that much. What also I find interesting is that you mean to tell me that Al Sharpton is saying that there were 3 friends? They haven't looked into them. They haven't, said the names of, Morgan, Jax, or I always forget the last name. I'm pretty sure it starts with W. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I always get Morgan and Jax, but I always mess up the last one. But I'm sure y'all let me know in the comments. And I know I'm gonna get pilled for this. I'm not gonna lie. But I just don't want to say the wrong name. I say the wrong name every time. But I know for a fact, him speaking on them and talking about them and this, that, and the other. Trust and believe, I know for a fact. I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact that Al Sharpton knows their names. I've looked and I've seen so many different things, that has basically put these individuals in horrible positions, in horrible things because they get singled out. And I'm not saying that, and from the things that I've seen, there's no evidence pointed towards them. There's nothing that I've seen, and that's what I find completely crazy. I truly do. And by the way, I always say Wyatt, and I'm pretty sure it's Warren. So you got Morgan Jackson and Warren, I'm pretty sure. But trust and believe, it's way more people that were on these boats, and they have not said anything at all. It's just because I guess they put that picture out. Check it out right here.
The story Sharpton told the country, the blurred story, ain't the story the receipts are telling. The thing is, I just feel like Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, they thought they were going into Mississippi, and they keep talking about Mississippi's history. They thought these people were backwards. I don't know what. But they came to play with the wrong people. I'm telling y'all right now, allegedly. Number one, it wasn't 3 friends on a boat. It was a 30-person, give or take, boating party. 30 plus people, y'all, give or take. Not the 4 friends that they've been touting all over the place. Number 2, the 3 young men, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, they left with the others. Nolan stayed behind. They didn't abandon him in the dark. They left the group event. Nolan, according to them, said that he would find his way home. The story,
So you truly have Al Sharpton that honestly, constantly are pushing these things out, lying about things. And, I truly don't get a lot. I'm watching this. It says, sis, I know the economy is horrible and you want to get your little grift on, but don't oversell the BS. She replied and said the only grifter is Al Sharpton. In case you didn't know, truth doesn't get you paid. So, and I truly agree with that. I truly agree with that for the simple fact that we look at Al Sharpton. We look at Ben Crump. Like I can even say I'm starting now to look at the parents, because I feel like there's a lot of things that, and a lot of people that they can look at. The phone. I feel like they can look at the phone. You know, me personally, I truly feel like they can look at the phone. And get that turned in, but they haven't. You know, they truly haven't. There's other people that was out there. Them not talking to, and they've explained, and said over and over and over. They've explained that they'll talk to this person. They'll talk to that person during this interview. Speaking on, the lawyer, Warren Jackson Morgan. They'll talk to this person. They have talked to this person. They have turned in their phones, but they're not looking at others, for this. Not to say there's something going on, because we know it's not showing there's nothing going on within this. But I truly look at this on the fact when it comes down to Al Sharpton and Ben Crump and, others, that it's more so of a money grab. And that's what's looking like to me. You got it right here. And this is where the original 750, where the goal was. It's at 750. From my understanding is that it's getting raised. It's now at 950K of what they're raising. And I truly feel like, man, I don't like to be that person that says stuff like this, but it just makes me feel like, me personally, it truly makes me feel like this is more of, we kind of leaning towards, we truly don't know everything that's going on, but we kind of know that there's a possibility that nothing went on, but we going to keep on pushing this. And that's where I'm at with it right now, because I'm truly not seeing too much that has going on within this. Not only that, a lot of this stuff just seems weird to me when it comes down to raising money and how things were. We went over this whole thing with Carmelo Anthony, and things is just not right. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of this talk, a lot of this, a lot of that. One thing about it that I continue to see is the simple fact that people tend to do things for the wrong reasons. Check it out.
I wanted to jump around for just a moment and talk about how this is impacting you professionally, outside of just being a parent. Now everybody is on Yelp giving nurse reviews. I don't even know where this has come from. It's when you first saw it, what was going through your mind?
It's funny because, and this is what I mean by discernment. Yes. I have always been someone who was just very in tune, not just with myself, but people, situations. And that night before it hit the internet, we were in bed. Mm-hmm. And I was like, they're going to come for my career.
You said that.
I was like, they're going to come for my career. I don't know if it is going to be now, in a few weeks, in a few months. I said, but I am telling you, they are going to come for my career.
Okay, I've talked about this multiple times, as we're going to get into the rest of this video as well. But I've talked about this multiple times. And how I feel about this situation is the simple fact, and this is me being completely honest, this is me being completely real with y'all, because I'm not trying to be just complete a-hole. I'm just being real. If you're steady saying, and this is, again, me being real, if you're steady saying and y'all pushing for this whole pro-black, y'all got the, the Black Panthers, and y'all got people that saying this and saying that and talking crazy, and they're walking around with people that spreading lies and talking about this kid and talking about that person, talking about this person. You mean to tell me that you like that this is nothing that should surprise anybody, and you can't be mad at somebody when they're constantly going and pushing this. You know, they're pushing this. So what do you expect people to feel like when, you know, you're some type of medical provider and you think that it's just okay, like, oh yeah, I'm about to go see her? No, people is not gonna feel that way. I truly feel like people aren't, you know, feel that way regardless of the color of your skin when you're doing that. And I feel like that's a big issue that we have now as well. And it's everybody. You know, I'm not singling, you know, anybody when it comes down to color. It's just the simple fact that stuff has to stop. You know, you can't, like I said, I can't sit there and be mad at them for leaving those reviews, you know, and y'all can say whatever y'all want, but I can't be mad at nobody for that. Who would want to put themselves in that position with somebody that's surrounding themselves with people like Ben Crump and Al Sharpton and everybody else that they got that's pushing negativity and lies and those sorts? I'm telling y'all.
And when I say they, I'm not talking about any specific group of people, just people who don't like the fact that we are just wanting answers.
Yes.
We're just wanting the truth.
But I feel like wanting answers and wanting the truth, first of all, is turning that phone in. I feel like that can help a lot. Even if it's not something that's on the phone. You know, I feel like that's, but when you're having that phone for over a month, what are we doing? You know, it raises a lot of questions. Not only that, when you're sitting there pointing the finger and making up lies because of a picture that you saw, that's not finding answers. Finding answers is actually talking to a lot of people, not singling out individuals like she said she's not doing. You know, I find it completely crazy. Truly do.
I mean, that's all we did was ask a question, and I have, you know, really just tried to mentally, but you can't mentally prepare yourself for any of this, because at the end of the day, and I've said it before, we didn't ask for this.
Yeah, shock and awe.
We did not ask to lose our child. We have not asked for people. Let me say this. We have not begged, because that's another thing. We have not begged anyone to donate to the GoFundMe. What we have said is that if you can, great. Thank you. We appreciate it.
So wait. Oh, can y'all answer this for me? Because I don't really know how GoFundMe works like that. My mom, I'm pretty sure my mama had it for when she had the last time that she had cancer, breast cancer, and I think my dad was running it or something. But how does that work? So when you have a GoFundMe and you set a goal, right? Can you stop it once you meet that goal or no? Or do you have to like keep going as people? Like, you know, I don't want to make it, you know, sound like I'm asking a dumb question, but can you stop it once you meet that goal, or can you add? Because from my understanding is that they had a certain goal and it was at 750, or it might have been lower and now it's at 950. So either they just keep it going, you know, GoFundMe or whatever, or like the website, or like, you know, as people are donating, or they've been raising it in the goal. So when she's saying that we're not asking people, that's kind of still asking if you're raising the goal and raising the goal and raising the goal, if that makes sense. Because I don't know. That's just me personally. Because I feel like if you meet that, you know, that benchmark, you meeting that goal, then that should be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be, because her saying that, oh, we're not asking nobody, but they're steady, you know, have that there. I don't know.
Because what people don't understand is situations like this, there's so much that comes with it. Elmore and I have not been to work since early July.
Yeah.
That first week, we've not been to work. And I'm going to be honest with you, the profession that I have sometimes is emotionally heavy.
Yeah.
So now I have to kind of sit within myself and be like, okay, are we really ready for this? Are we ready to go back to that life? But cases similar to ours, I've never seen this. I've never seen that. And it's, you know, the cyberbullying component of it.
Yeah.
And so, and I hate to say it, but it's so sad. Like, sometimes it takes you to a place. And so as I'm sitting here experiencing this, I think about kids, particularly in our community. Her name was Aubrey Wyatt. I think about those situations and I'm like, my God, like feel like sometimes I'm barely holding on.
Wow.
This, like, just thinking from a child's perspective who hasn't been through life, who hasn't been through anything, to know that they would have to endure something like this, because this stuff is taught.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like, and that's why as parents, we have to be careful, because you guys, this is not cool. Like, bullying other people. If you have children, your children are going to see this at some point.
Oh, no, for sure.
And then that carries.
But I feel like that's something to talk about, but that's something that's talked about as a whole. So singling out things, what they're talking about and what they're doing, I feel like isn't right too. Not singling out a certain group amount of people, but actually in applying that pressure that it shouldn't go out nowhere, because I truly agree within it. The bullying, the names, this, that, and the other. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like those things in my comments. Y'all don't see that I'm about to sit here and want to talk about individual. When it goes down to it, but I do call out when it needs to be called out. When stuff needs to be called out, I'm gonna call it out. But I truly look at the simple fact that I find a lot of it pretty much wild that people continue to single out things and to make things out to be like it's just one group doing something. And it's everybody going back and forth when it comes down to this race. And I feel like as long as Ben Crump is in the picture, Al Sharpton and these other individuals that's causing this is going to be that. Not to say and not to use it as an excuse that people should do it, but at the same time, y'all got to call it out, bro. Like, people got to call it out. Like, don't sit there and single things and make things. Call it out, because it's truly sickening. Regardless of everything that has been going on, especially the things that has been going on with Al Sharpton and Ben Crump and what they're doing, the lies that they're spreading, the things that they're doing. It's truly sickening and it's truly sad. I don't care what nobody say. What they're doing, they need to call it out and they need to stop it, just as well as I'm telling everybody and letting everybody know, regardless of whatever color, whatever it is, bullying is not the answer for nothing. Trust and believe, the cyberbullying is truly not the answer for nothing, and people need to watch a lot of what they say. Now, when it comes down to the facts, when it comes down to this and that, that's what it is. It's that kindness, that being real, truly, and that's truly how I feel about it.
Over to, how they're going to behave and how they're going to treat others.
This has really been no longer your family issue. It's not even any longer a Mississippi issue. It has become an American issue. And I want to enlarge the conversation because you have both Black DNA and Filipino DNA. And it could be any of our children.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so has the Filipino community said anything in response to this?
They have, in support. We're also, I think, getting some things lined up with an organization as well. I've had some of the Filipino creators, and I think one in particular, he has done so many videos. Can't remember his name.
Yeah.
but just really kind, just advocating, advocating for justice.
That's great.
For answers, which again, at the end of the day, I don't care about the rest.
Yeah.
You can say what you want to say about me. You can try to tear me down.
Yeah.
But that is not going to take my voice away.
Yeah.
You're not going to break me to where I can't advocate for my child.
Yes.
It's not happening. And by the grace of God, we will get answers and we will get justice.
You will.
So you have it right here. And one thing about it, I'm not going to lie, that's truly sickening out of this is the simple fact that you constantly have, so many people that truly think that it's something that's, that's okay, to do, with bullying. And I will tell anybody that, I truly, dislike it. I'm not a person that's for it. I know a lot of people get angry of a lot of things on here. I know that I do sometimes, and I'll, say something and, pretty much be mad at myself or have to apologize after I said it, but we do have to watch a lot that we do, a lot that we say, especially on the internet, within it. But one thing about it is that also when you having these big individuals like Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, they need to start calling stuff out and let know, things are cool. You can't people can't have it to where it's like, and this, again, being honest, people can't have it to where it's, oh yeah, we about to single out this group. They're on here, they're doing this, and they're leaving reviews, and they're doing this, they're doing that. I mean, come on, y'all. We got to make it make sense. I feel like a lot of this started once people seen that picture go up. Trust and believe. It's always race when it comes down to it, and it has to stop. It truly does. You have it right here. Officer Tatum posted, said Nolan Wells' family is ready to have his phone examined, but their attorney says they're still waiting on the Jackson County District Attorney's Office to set a date. This was posted August 19th. It is now August 25th. I definitely feel as if it is time to start getting stuff together because trust and believe stuff, it doesn't, a lot of this stuff just doesn't sit right within me. It truly doesn't sit right within me. Things need a complete turnaround, and I'm tired of people. It's singling out. Look elsewhere. Look. Talk to this person. Talk to that person. Not just we about to look at these three individuals within this. That's just how I feel. I truly feel like as long as they're talking, they turned that phone in, this, that, and the other. You never know. Things might turn out to be that. But me personally, I feel as if, they're saying no foul play, no evidence here, this, that, and the other. Trust and believe. Again, kind of really not, kind of not seeing, much that's going on. Kind of not seeing much that's going on within it. But, if something did go on, definitely that person needs to be held, person or persons need to be held accountable when it comes down to it. And that's truly just, that's how I feel. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think down below. Definitely hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Prayers to all families, that is, affected by this. Definitely a sad situation, especially with Nolan Wells. All I've heard is that, he's an amazing, he was an amazing dude. He definitely was an amazing dude. And I know he'd made it pretty far in life from my understanding, from what, people explain, from what people posted, from all directions. But definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.